Hey guys, welcome to my November 2023 budget recap video. My name is Miranda, and on this channel I share everything personal finance. I cover budgeting, saving, and investing. If these topics are of interest to you, then please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get in today's video. So for today's video, I will actually be using Loom for the first time to record my screen, and I will be talking about how much I brought in the month of November, where I sent that money, and then quickly see if there's anything that I want to carry over into the month of December. So for the rest of this video, I will be using my MacBook to do the recording, screen recording, as well as me talking. So there may be a difference in quality of this video, and if it's bad, I apologize because I only have 30 minutes to do the filming of this video. So for the month of November 2023, you can see I have here, as my tracker shows, my left to spend, which was 1,526 and 78 pence. Then the income summary, which I have blanked out here, but giving you the total. So I thought I was going to be working with 6,150, but in the end, I brought in almost double that. And I brought in 12,139 and 11 pence. So this is a mixture of my 9 to 5, my rental properties, my blog, my Etsy, other income, avenues, and then my buffer as well. Then here you can see the budget summary. So we're just going to go ahead and talk about where my money went. So firstly, we're going to start off with my main bills. So these cover my four was right. So this is my mortgage, which is, if you look, it's 871.93 pence, but I add an additional 23 or 28 pounds just to make it 900. So I was budget 900, and that's exactly how much I sent. Council tax, 150, and that's exactly how much I paid. I have my personal coach. I started with her. She's a wellness coach. I started with her last October, well, not last October, I was going to say last month, but I started with her in October this year, and in November was going to be the first time I properly budgeted for it. So it's in red because when I shared the budget video, it wasn't there, but I had to include, well, it was there, it was a new item, 125. That's what I paid. Car tax, I pay car tax twice a year, in May and in November, so that came up. I budgeted 100, but it came to 94 pounds 50. This has been creeping up slowly but surely. Like the DVLA, I see you, what you're doing there. Combined utilities, so this is my gas and my electric. I always budget 115. So I already see what's in the app, and that's what I budget. Income protection, in case, God forbid, but I was to not have income coming in, like I lost my job and stuff like that. So I paid for that insurance. I budgeted 5 and it's actually 84.49. Life insurance, everybody needs to have life insurance. I budget 80, I pay 79.68. You will notice a theme within my budget that I always budget more than what it is. So my Vodafone, so this one is in red because I mentioned this, that my YouTube premium, which I have for my main account, I thought it was going to be a subscription item by itself, but it's not. It's actually included in the overall bill by Vodafone. So Vodafone provides my internet. It provides my phone line rental, provides YouTube premium, it provides device rental, it provides a lot of things, so it's all combined into one. So because it went up, normally it's just under 50, but it went up because of the subscription, so I budgeted 60, but it's actually 58.49. Financial Joy Academy, this is a membership that I am part of. It's 56.40. Peloton, 39. Nirvana is a spa near me that I am subscribed to, so I pay a monthly subscription of £25.50. Travel insurance, I have this with my bank, of £18. I travel a lot, cannot afford not to have travel insurance. Netflix, I downgraded, so I used to pay £15.99. But then since they introduced in the UK this thing of you all have to be on the same Wi-Fi or the same address to be able to use the Netflix account, obviously my family can't use it anymore. So I downgraded it to the lowest that they are offering, and that's £10.99. Spotify, This is 14.99. My O2 mobile, this is my second mobile. I pay 13.29. TV license 13.25. Avios membership. So this is part of my, I have a subscription with my bank where I get certain number of Avios points that go towards my flights or hotels. So I pay £12 for that. So essentially my membership for my account is about £12. Equifax for my credit score. And I know somebody did say this in my comments one time that you don't really have to pay. I choose to pay because I add additional services there. So that's fine with me. So I pay 10.95. Plum fees. This is an app that I utilize to help me save money as well as investing. So I pay 2.99 every single month for this subscription. So I budgeted for my main bills £1,842. I actually spent £1,824 and 52 pence. And this is possible obviously because to spend less because I budget more than what it actually is. This creates a buffer for me in my account. Then moving on, it's to the rental bill. So I have 3 rental properties that I rent out. I have tenants in all of them, and each of my rental properties is self-sufficient. By that, I mean the rent that the tenant pays is enough to cover the mortgage, the insurances, and everything else, but not like things like the bathroom renovation. This is I'm pulling money from my own account. So for the third rental property, R3 stands for rental property number 3, R2 rental 2, R1. So I've grouped them according to how much I pay, like the amount. So the largest is on top. So for rental 3, 685, and this is quite high because I purchased this rental property this year when the interest rates have actually been ridiculous, but the math still works. So 684.16 for that mortgage. For the second mortgage, I pay 434.91. I've had this property for 2 years, going on 3 years now. And then life insurance, rental life insurance for all my 3 properties and any future ones that I'll add is 271. So this is actually more than the mortgage for my second rental property, which is 248.33. Then my second rental property it's a leasehold, it's a flat, so I pay £80 for that. And then buildings and contents insurance for my third rental property is 36.84. Landlord care for my rental 1 and 3, I pay £20 and £16 respectively. Then insurance for the fridge for rental 1, I pay just under £7. Then rental 2 had some work that needed to be done and still has some work that needs to be done. It's quite an old flat, and since my current tenant is moving out in about 10 days and my new tenant moves in about 16 days, I want to actually vamp it up for the new tenants because this is the only opportunity I have. So I did some bathroom renovation. So I had a lot of things done. So like the wallpaper, painting, and all of that, that cost me £888. Then I changed the toilet, which cost me £510. Once I changed the toilet, I realized that, okay, I needed to change the sink as well and the tiles on the floor. So that is going to be another 8 something, but we shall see because I'm still trying to figure out and negotiate with my contractor on that. But he's given me an estimate. So I budgeted 1,800 plus, but I ended up spending £3,198 and 5 pence. And this is all thanks to the 2 bathroom renovations that I knew were going to come up, but I honestly thought the second one wouldn't happen until December, but ended up happening earlier than planned. So still gotta pay for it. I need to fix it for my tenant because if I was a tenant, I would want this to have been sorted. So hence why. So that is why I spend so much with my rental properties. Moving over to variable expenses, which is no better because I spend so much money there as well. So with my rental properties, starting off right off the bat is tithe and giving. I'm a Christian. I believe in giving to those around me, my community, my family, all of that. So I planned to give about 150, ended up giving over 225 pounds. Groceries budgeted 200. I actually overspent this, so this should be in red actually, because every single time I overspend I want to highlight that for myself. So I spent 212 and 6 pence. My dentist, I knew this was coming up, and because I get to claim this back, um I forgot that I had a hygienist appointment in November as well. I knew about my dentist, but there was an hygienist appointment. So I budgeted 85, ended up spending 128 pounds. So I still have to submit those. And my accounts team at work just said, we need to submit everything. So I'm going to do that today. Gifts, I had two birthdays for my nephew and my cousin. Budgeted 75, spent 75. Social, 75, spent 71, which is quite nice that I didn't go over. Fuel, I spent budget 75, I went 76, and this I just went over slightly, which is fine. Dining out 75, and surprisingly, your girl only ordered out once, and everything else fell under social, so I didn't need to use my dining out money. So this should be in green, because we gotta recognize and praise myself when I don't spend too much. Then travel, well, budget isn't five. I don't even know why I did that, because I had two trips in the month of November. The first one, I went to Mauritius, where I spent 10 glorious days in Mauritius, and I actually had a budget for that, and I was in budget for that, and I loved it for me. The second trip I did was a day trip to Milan with my girls. I had a budget for that as well, and I was in budget. But you might be wondering why I am over budget. This is because I decided in the month of November that instead of waiting for December, I was going to book my flights for January 2024. Already booked those flights, and I decided I was going to book flights for February and March. So those cost a pretty penny. I think in total for those flights, I ended up spending, I want to say, for both of them, for three of them, about 800 pounds. So this is why this is higher than what it should be. But yeah, that's why this is high. Subscriptions, I paid 44. So again, we should praise myself. This is under 50. Transportation, I went over 60 pounds. Housing definitely went over, because there were some things I wanted to buy, and I did. My food box, 34. I just over budgeted. Coffee, did really well here with my coffee, because I actually only went out to the cafe twice or three times this month. Twice, because one of them was at the third one was at the airport, which doesn't really count. And then shopping, I'm very proud of myself for staying within my budget. I'm not really a shopper, if I'm honest, so this actually works out really well for me. Personal care, we had to do the nails, we had to do the pedicure, and all of that good jazz. And at the beginning of November, I actually did my hair, but then at the end of November, I removed it, because now we're rocking this a lovely, lovely wig. So I spent over 190. Personal growth, surprised myself and spent on a couple of books, so spent 34.54. Miscellaneous, spent £9 again. Should praise myself for miscellaneous. Business, I never budget for business, because even though I know how much I'm gonna pay, there was always something that surprises me with my business, and this November was no different. So I ended up spending almost £190. Christmas, when I filmed my December budget, I said I hadn't done any shopping, and that was like a week before November ended. I hadn't. But Black Friday came, Black Friday went, and your girl did some serious shopping. I said I was going to, I had a budget of £500. As you can see, I went over that, because it's Christmas. So there's nothing really I can say much about that. But I bought all my family members Christmas, mom, dad, my sister. Don't think I bought anything for my brother, but and for myself. I really bought stuff for myself. So I'm very happy about that. So this is why your girl spent over almost 3,400 is how much I spend on variable expenses, which is absolutely ridiculous. But travel, Christmas, these are the two areas where I definitely spent way more than I was expecting. But There we go. Then if we move over to my savings and investments, so with my savings and my investments, I budgeted 300. I ended up sending 728 pounds and 5 pence. So 200 as budgeted to my ISA, 100 as budgeted to my SIP. So this is my pension that I manage myself. Plum investment. This is the personal app I mentioned. So this helps me save money, and I saved 153 pounds and 38 pence. This is split between what went into the savings and what went into investments. Then to my emergency fund, I sent 94 pounds. I spent a lot for my emergency fund actually. Vacation, nothing. Sinking fund, I sent 130. So this is actually more the Transfer Tuesday videos for the 52 envelope savings challenge. Then for my renter fund, I sent a measly 50 pounds, but every little helps. Then moving over to my debt, I mentioned in my November debt-free update video that I was going to talk a little bit more about how much I was able to send to my debt. So for my personal loan with Zoper, 700 is how much I budgeted. My minimum is about 600 something. So for November, it was 666 and 2 pence. But as you can see, I made extra repayments, which was great. For Nationwide, my advance mortgage is 380, but I sent an additional 38 pounds and 30 pence to bring my total to 419 and 15 pence. Then for my Vodafone device, so my personal mobile, I'm trying to pay this device off quickly, so I budgeted 50. Minimum is 26 pounds and 61 pence, but I sent 50 pounds and 61 pence. And then to my credit cards, because I was carrying a balance, I sent 271 pounds and 43 pence. So towards my debt, I sent 1,471 and 73 pence. So that is all with my budgeting. So the budget summary here, you could see that towards my main bills, I spent 15% of my overall income. Rental bills got a big chunk, about 26%, because of the renovations. Variable expenses, 28%, so the largest here because of buying my flights for next year. And then savings and investment only 6%, which is quite sad. I need to get back to spending at least saving at least half of what I'm bringing in. So we shall see. Debts, I sent at least 12%, which is pretty good. I'm hoping for 2024 I'll be at least 15% every single time. So I spent overall 10,612 and 33 pence. So that is 87% of my overall income that I brought in, because I budget using zero-based budgeting as well as 50/30/20 rule. For the zero-based budgeting, I try to make sure that every single money that I have coming in assigned a job. So this leftover money is money I've carried over into the month of December. It's already been used up by all the bills that come out on the first day of the month. So that is what that leftover money is. I mean, maybe moving forward, I can put like a tab there that just shows that carried over. So for example, I could say carry over here, and for here I won't put anything, but here I could just put what was left over, which is 1,526 and 78 pence. And that will show that there is zero left because I have assigned all of the money to where I wanted to go. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope the quality on Loom wasn't too bad. I hope that it looked okay and you focused on the numbers, which was my aim for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video.